Late Monday night in Port Arthur, Texas, a thunderous blast tore through the Valero Refinery, sending towering plumes of thick black smoke billowing miles into the sky. The fire raged for nearly 5 hours. Residents on the west side of the city were ordered to shelter in place immediately. Doors and windows sealed, air quality teams scrambling on the ground. For hours, the entire area held its breath while emergency crews battled the blaze. No injuries reported, thank God, and by Tuesday morning the fire was fully extinguished. The shelter order lifted after air tests came back clean. But here's what has everyone on edge. This isn't just any refinery. Valero's Port Arthur facility is a true energy giant, processing up to 435,000 barrels of crude every single day into gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. It's one of the biggest in the United States. And this happened at the exact moment global oil markets were finally starting to breathe again after the Hormuz drama. So the question gripping the nation right now is simple. Was this a tragic industrial accident or the opening shot of planned sabotage? Let's cut through the noise and look at what we actually know. First, the official story. Local authorities, including Jefferson County Sheriff Zena Stevens and Valero itself, are pointing to a malfunction in an industrial heater inside a diesel processing unit. Flammable vapors likely built up and ignited. It's the kind of equipment failure that has happened at refineries before. Rare, but not unheard of. No evidence of foul play has been released yet. The investigation is ongoing, and right now the focus is on getting the unit safely back online. But the timing has raised serious eyebrows. This strike comes just 48 hours after Iran announced the Strait of Hormuz was reopening. Oil prices had already crashed hard on that news. Now, suddenly, a critical piece of American refining capacity is knocked offline, even if only temporarily. That single disruption ripples straight into gasoline supplies along the Gulf Coast and beyond. Second, the online chatter exploded almost instantly. Pro-Iranian accounts and IRGC-affiliated networks began celebrating within minutes, openly hinting this was payback or coordinated sabotage. Some called it a message delivered through proxies or sleeper cells. Others pointed to the precision of the blast in a high-security facility. Skeptics on the ground are pushing back hard, calling it classic propaganda time to sow panic. But the seed has been planted. In an era of hybrid warfare, where energy infrastructure has become the new battlefield, it's impossible to ignore the pattern. Third, the real-world impact is already showing up. Even a short-term shutdown at Port Arthur tightens supply in a market that was just starting to stabilize. Refineries like this don't come back online overnight. Repairs, inspections, and safety reviews can stretch days or weeks depending on the damage. Pump prices that were finally easing could reverse course fast, especially heading into summer driving season. Airlines, truckers, and manufacturers are watching their fuel hedges nervously. And for households already squeezed by the last month of volatility, this is the last thing anyone needed. The bigger picture is even more unsettling. America's refining heartland sits right on the Gulf Coast. Vulnerable, concentrated, and absolutely critical to keeping the lights on and the economy moving. One heater failure is one thing, but when it happens against the backdrop of open talk about energy warfare, foreign actors testing red lines, and markets already on a knife's edge, the coincidence feels almost too perfect. So, watch these three signals very closely in the coming days. First, the official cause investigation. If forensic teams find anything inconsistent with a simple mechanical failure, unusual residue, cyber logs, or excess anomalies, the narrative changes instantly. Second, how quickly Valero brings the unit back up. A fast restart calms markets. A prolonged outage sends a very different message. Third, any sudden movement in oil futures or tanker traffic. A quiet spike in prices or a sudden rush to reroute crude would tell you the market is pricing in deeper trouble. Right now, the refinery is quiet. The smoke has cleared. The shelter in place is over. But the questions are only getting louder. Was this just bad luck in a complex industrial machine? Or the first visible strike in a shadow war that's moving from the Persian Gulf straight to American soil? The next 10 to 14 days will give us the answer. The investigation is moving fast. The markets are watching even faster. And every driver filling up at the pump this week is now part of the story. This is no longer someone else's crisis halfway around the world. It just landed on our doorstep. And the stakes for American energy security have never been higher.